I mean, I guess it's not R5 anymore. What do we even call it now?
Last pick?
Last pick?
Counter pick?
I mean, because it was like red 5, but it's not red anymore. B5 feels weird. Whatever. The last pick Aatrox, not really selling the counter pick value there. A Lulu ban coming in first and foremost, so very new approach from Gen.G in this draft immediately. And you got to remember the bans so far in this series, 4 of them have been pretty locked in. So the fact that you're leading with a Lulu ban, which is a new ban and not a common first rotation ban, immediately makes Dplus think, okay, well, maybe something OP is going to come through. Because all series, I mean, pretty much every series, you get Varus, Orianna, Karma, Rumble banned. And Dplus have to start thinking, well, what are we okay with trading? What are we okay with going through? Gen.G do ban the Varus themselves, so maybe they will just cover all the bases.
Yeah. I mean, Rumble and Varus are two that you never want to see go through. I think Karma value could definitely go up with Ezreal still not picked and Jhin still not picked. So definitely don't want to give that one over, I would say, if you're Dplus Kia, but they're going to ban away Azir first.
So Gen.G have a choice here. They can choose to go along with the Orianna Karma and ban one of those. Or if they ban something else entirely, they guarantee they get at least one of them. And they ban the Nautilus. So they are looking for the Karma first pick. And now Dplus, they have to decide, do you want to try and let them get Karma and you got Orianna? Or are you concerned if you ban if you leave Orianna open, maybe they just take Orianna. And are you okay with that? They go for the Nocturne, so they don't want to see Nocturne Orianna if Gen.G opt to prioritize the Orianna more. And now the decision comes to Gen.G, which do you care about more? Orianna in the mid lane or Karma in the support? You did ban you banned 3 bot lane picks. So it feels like you were setting up for the Karma, but maybe you expected the Orianna to be banned.
I think you got to take Karma here. If you take Orianna and they go Ezreal Karma, your bottom lane is in a rough spot. You're going up against Ezreal, which Orianna has a tough time locking down as well. They could go Ezreal and Orianna, I suppose, but Jin's still up, like I was talking about before.
Yeah, and that's one of the problems is that Dplus can't just deny bot lane pairings here with a pick because there's multiple. They're looking at the Pantheon. There is also the Wukong, which you could take in terms of jungle. But the big pairings with Orianna, the Jarvan and the Nocturne aren't available, so does make it a little bit weaker. Now we got to see what Gen.G want to prioritize to go with the Karma. Thing is, we've seen Karma often do really well paired with like Xin Zhao. That's not a prospect. Canyon looking to go back to his Skarner, which is something only he has played so far.
It's been a Canyon pick.
He did win with it in that one game. But it is going to be the Ezreal Karma coming out.
Yeah, I think I'd rather play Ezreal into this duo than something like a Jhin, where you always have to be super far away. Otherwise, you might just get blown up. Whereas Ezreal, you definitely have a bit more of a tether. As we're zooming in on Siwoo, what is he going to pick here? Does he want to go for a blind pick and maybe get a couple of bans towards the top lane?
Yeah. I mean, he had such a great game, too. You potentially set him up. They go for the Rakan, which is not something I would expect. I could have seen them go for a strong AD carry. We talked about this a bit in the Game 1 draft. There's AD carries like Jhin and MF, who are kind of independently strong, and you don't necessarily need a specific pairing, so you could secure that and then pick up whatever support in the second rotation to hopefully hold your own. Going for the Rakan, though, it's an engaged support. It sets up the Orianna. It has a little bit of sustain if you land those Qs, but generally, you are going to get pressured so hard in this situation. I feel like Gen.G might just ban Xayah, but I think if you pick Xayah here, you're going to have such a horrible time. But I feel like a lot of teams are just like, oh, Xayah Rakan, by default. TF ban coming out, though, I think makes a lot of sense. If you had TF plus the Karma speed-ups, and just being able to play towards bot, it would be a doomed scenario. I think the Jhin ban makes a lot more sense.
Yeah.
This is kind of why I expected them to prioritize the Jhin. Although Jhin does struggle a little bit to cut through the Skarner, I think it offers that laning prowess you kind of need to survive here.
Yeah, it also sets up a lot of pick potential with what you already have. Rakan, Pantheon, Orianna. We're getting so many zoom-ins onto Siwoo. The top laners are so crucial in the first couple of games as it's a Kali.
Maybe, I'm thinking stuff like Sivir, maybe, or MF. Sivir, obviously, with the spell shield and the wave clear. You can spell shield a mantra Q. You're never going to have pressure in this lane. That's just a given. But at least you'll be able to scale up and be a powerhouse in the team fights and mitigate some of the pressure that the Ezreal Karma have. Instead, they go for a top lane ban with this Vayne, not wanting to have Siwoo potentially threatened as a counter pick.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea, especially if you're planning on playing anything that's left available. There's that MF. And of course, that saves counter pick for Siwoo.
I think it just makes the most sense. To me, it was that or Sivir, but Sivir's a little bit short range.
Oh.
Instead, they go and snap up the Renekton, thinking, oh, with Gnar gone, this is higher prio, giving a bit more time to think about the AD carry pick. But I feel like more so is just prioritizing wanting to get that Renekton when they can. That's 3 games in this series where Siwoo has blind picked. And one of them, it obviously worked very well. One of them, not so much. Does Kiin go for... Oh.
You know, so much stuff is banned that you can play into Renekton, but he's just going to play Nidalee instead. And this is harkening back to last year when Nidalee just ruled the top lane. And you couldn't really play Renekton into it. You couldn't play a lot of stuff into it at all. Aurelion Sol definitely a Chovy pick that he oftentimes goes back to in game 3s or game 5s of Fearless. And it looks like he is considering it here now.
Oh, he's going for the Sylas instead. There's some good ults to choose from in this situation. You're not really going to have pressure in this lane, but your side lanes have so much pressure. It's fine. I do not rate the Xayah here, to be honest. I think it's not really going to help out with surviving this lane, and you're just going to get poked out. I think Sivir MF would do a lot better.
I like the MF, actually. I mean, Sivir as well. Sivir... Looks like they have made up their mind and gone towards the Sivir.
Yep, I think it's a much better pick here. Spell Shield has a lot of value in this lane. You have the wave clear. We've seen Sivir often picked into Varus, and the aim is just survive the lane and outscale. That is the same MO here. You have a bot lane where they have some tools to mitigate poke with the Spell Shield and the Gleam and Quill from the Rakan, and then you just have so much power in the team fights. This is so much 5v5 power, I feel like, from... Dplus here, the Orianna, Rakan, Sivir, extremely powerful. Whereas for Gen.G, like the Nidalee top never really offered that much in terms of team fighting. So I think this is a game where Gen.G are hoping to leverage the power of their strong side lanes, build up a lead, and never really give Dplus a route into the game. Because if they get to those team fights without being at a deficit, or even just a small deficit, I could see them winning this comfortably.
Yeah, the Gen.G fans just almost begging for like, oh, let's just split it like 1 for 1. You know, you get 1 win, we get the other. Let's be friendly about it. I don't think Dplus Kia want that at all. They're going to group up. They're going to look for team fights. We'll see if maybe they can roll Hextech Soul again.
I think if Dplus wanted to be fair, they want to win the next 20 series in a row to balance out that big loss streak they had. Maybe then it'd be fair.
Yeah, maybe then. And even then, maybe they would look for more. As we got Nidalee in the top lane for Kiin, let's see how he pilots it in game number 3. And here we go. Game number 3. This is going to be the experience of Siwoo. Just getting auto-attacked.
It's not fun. I think the teacup emote is accurate.
Yeah, he brought the right emotes in this game at least.
That's what you do when you're loading into this game. The runes doesn't take long. You're looking like, how many different crying emotes is there? Maybe like I mean, there's the teacup Amumu, maybe the regular crying Amumu. The scared Yumi one is a classic. Canyon often runs that one. You could run that one here.
I use that one a lot.
Just getting a good spread of emotes, conveying the exact same thing, but They're what you need here.
Yeah.
Seeing a lot of poke coming down already onto Smash and Clear.
Yeah, the heal is actually pretty good because, you know, it gets them a little space, but also keeps them obviously healed up in this lane.
This is the worst point, honestly, is the level 1.
Flaming Quill doesn't hit.
Yeah, that's not great. Speaking of worst point, she wasn't having too much fun either, and this is the expected outcome. I do think the bot lane stabilizes a bit once you get access to some more abilities. Like the fact you don't have the spell shield yet doesn't really help. But top lane, at least when you're level 3, there's the potential for Siwoo to trade with Kiin. Right now, there just isn't. So you're not really achieving much of anything.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at Lucid this game. On this Pantheon, what can he do? How can he disrupt these lanes? You do have to be wary of Canyon in this situation, just because he can obviously go through terrain on this Skarner. And if he turns up in a fight and turns around, if you try and gank top or bot and he turns around and they end up with a double kill, it's just over. It's just cooked.
Yeah. Do see Grasp here for Kiin, of course. You just get to stack it for free, just over and over and over again. It's a nice little cue there from Siwoo just to make things a little bit better. But yeah, this is the expected outcome. I mean, Siwoo's actually doing a pretty good job of keeping up in CS. Sometimes in the past, it would be like, yeah, you don't even get to access the minion wave. You just have to farm under turret, as Ezreal's on a 11-game losing streak.
That's impressive.
11.
That's very impressive. They
paused.
They saw that stat and they paused.
They're
they
like,
went,
wait,
what?
that's not right.
That's crazy. Guys, can we undo? Can we pick something else?
Maybe it was Wadid who paused.
Maybe.
You know? We haven't seen
it's not Ezreal Nico though.
Any Nico Prio at all in this entire series, but he's also not a big fan of just Ezreal, I think.
One thing we can talk about is Siwoo actually double skilled his Q instead of going the W, so kind of respected the fact that sure, W would allow him to threaten a trade. He knows his job is just farm and sustain, and so he wanted that extra sustain, and he's doing good in farm so far.
So it is a Duro headset issue, by the way. Just a little audio issue.
So what happened, and this is definitely real and not made up, is Ruler saw the 11 loss streak and just screamed, and Duro threw the headset off, and it broke. And I definitely did not just make all of that up.
Yeah, broke the headset. You can see a new one's coming in now.
Yeah.
So Ruler
dismayed.
He did like a banshee shriek, you know, and it messed with the electronics. So we're gonna get a replacement here for Duro.
Unfortunately, they can't replace the Ezreal pick. To be fair, I do think we can see the strengths of Ezreal. Sometimes we get these long loss streaks, and it's like, you know, part of it's the pairings, the champions that have been around it, or when they're picked in the draft. Ezreal Karma is obviously one of the better pairings, but we'll see if it's enough to break that streak. Obviously, Dplus broke a very long loss streak last time. Gen.G now have the chance to, it's not their personal loss streak, but I feel like they're a team who've done this many times before. They've picked champions that haven't been working for other teams or been on loss streaks and said, you know what, we'll make it work.
It's just a really good angle for the Ezreal in this game. You know, when you saw Orianna Pantheon and you already had Karma, just there you're like, well, Ezreal just feels like the right choice. Could have gone for a Jhin, but, you know, might require a little bit more setup. I think gonna have to hold that thought, as here comes Canyon looking for a play on a ShowMaker. There's the knock into the wall, but no follow-up from Chovy, who says, yeah, cool story, Canyon. I am farming the minions, not the champions.
Yeah, Chovy was trying to set that up and go for a chain lash, but just wasn't able to find the angle. So it's just Canyon doing a bit of pointless poke. I mean, it's not pointless, but just wasn't able to set up a real gank. And Lucid actually gets some maybe more meaningful poke.
Yeah, pretty interesting.
Scrapping going down.
She was doing a good job up here. He's keeping even in CS. Here comes Duro for the gank. ShowMaker still has flash, but he's very far down the lane. There's the flash. And now the follow-up, and the Pantheon is nowhere to be seen. I mean, you're just not getting away. And no! Duro with the auto. It's still a nice kill here for Gen.G, but man, you want that gold on Chovy right now.
Yeah, good punish. ShowMaker obviously pushing up. And you know what? I said pointless poke. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. It was meaningful poke. It set up that play.
They proved you wrong.
Absolutely. Just, you know, his alliteration. It just rolled off the tongue.
Yeah.
But here, Duro finds this great angle in. Chovy with basically 0 mana, and the Mantra Q misses. I was thinking, hey, that might be the play not being able to continue, but Chovy gets a level up, gives him more mana. Duro gets the tether that forces the flash, and they're able to find the play. Canyon now looking at this flashless Orianna. No, never mind. I love how quickly he just turns like, nah.
Yeah. Skarner's got much better... you know, I'm not a car guy. I don't know...
A better turning circle than...
Yeah. Like, what is the the best word to use for, like, ability to turn well?
You know what, Brendan?
Handling?
I don't... Yeah, handling... It would probably be
That's
handling.
like the Mario Kart word.
Yes. You know what? I'm glad we moved into Mario Kart.
Yeah.
I don't have a car.
That is our expertise.
I don't drive, but I have played a lot of Mario Kart. So if we're going into Mario Kart team, I am there.
Yeah.
But if normal driving, you're more of an expert than me, and you said you didn't.
I do own a car, but
yeah, exactly.
I don't know the words. Maybe I need to practice my car vocabulary.
You even, I presume, have a driver's license, which I don't. So,
well, do I have a driver's license?
I would hope so.
Who knows?
I would assume.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were told from production that Yundo says it would just be drift. You know, I trust
Drift?
Drift.
What's drift?
I trust Yundo because I've seen his car, and his car is sick.
And he is here today.
Yeah.
And he does drive on racetracks. He drifted to Lol Park today, in fact.
That's impressive.
So, yeah, I think that's got to be the correct word. But yeah, Skarner definitely has a better ability to turn.
Yeah, I feel like I've talked about Yunda's car, but people aren't going to know what it looks like.
Ooh. Dominus comes in, the flash here. Kiin just going to flash and respect it.
Yeah, all I can say about his car is it wouldn't look out of place in Need for Speed.
It's true.
Furious,
it's
you
true.
know?
Yeah.
It's a cool car. She was doing great so far in this matchup. Really putting the pressure on Kiin, and considering he's doing well in farm as well, this is not how we expected this to go. Bot lane is weathering the storm pretty well. They are now going to lose a plate, but only losing the first plate now. The side lanes of Dplus are holding up, and if this is happening, this is ticking the box for what Dplus needed. Even though Lucid hasn't been able to have the most impact so far, he's been keeping tabs on Canyon. He now has his ult available. He's going to be able to just show up whenever anything happens.
Yeah, it's very true. I was just laughing because Chovy went into a minion wave and used the stolen shockwave just to clear it. Just wants to get a good back in. We saw what Chovy can do with nicely timed backs in game number 1, as our space did a very nice job of highlighting. And didn't Nidalee, you know, she was such a menace in the top lane. I feel like Riot at some point took some chops at some of her numbers. You know, I don't think she is just the same champion from back last year where she just took over every single top lane. As Aux is looking into it. It's going to try to find the patch notes.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. I'm not sure if they did something specific.
This is a support ward fight. Nobody wanted to watch that, so instead we're going to watch Canyon doing an objective. He did get the first dragon, by the way. And now we got an ult up on top side. No flash here for Kiin. He's going to try to get over to his jungler. As Canyon shows himself, and the angle very nice, but Kiin is super low. He does have the plant, but now going to flash on in, trying to burst down the Renekton, and the Impale gets both of them! Canyon says, I am back on Skarner, and you will feel it! And sets up the play in a huge way for Gen.G.
It feels crazy that Gen.G have Nidalee on their team, but it's Canyon's pocket pick of Skarner that is popping off. You know, you expect a team with Canyon on, like it would be his Nidalee. That's the pick they lean on, but no. Just proving what he can do on this Skarner, the only player to play it so far in the LCK, and once again proving why that double Impale getting massive value there. And it looked really unfavorable. Kiin gets chunked out, is having to kite away. Siwoo at this point of the game, like the Pantheon Renekton are very strong, but the slam into the wall and the Impale,
who should flash into it?
Solidarity with his top laner.
maybe he forgot what Skarner does. You know, it's been a little while since we've seen Skarner. I think Gen.G Canyon was the last one to do it. I remember a Mad movie where it was like a 5-man play in mid lane at the second turret. And he got this gigantic impale into the Chovy divide, Emperor's Divide with the Azir.
Chovy has Rocket Belt. That's not a surprise. Sylas building Rocket Belt isn't a surprise, but it's just, this is like the champion who'd build Rocket Belt even before everyone was building Rocket Belt. Like, Chovy must be like he was already going to build Rocket Belt, but this is like the most Rocket Belt he's ever built.
Yeah. Especially now that we have Gunblade back, even Akali, you know, builds that first. Sylas definitely feels like one of the only guys left that's a true Rocket Belter.
True Rocket Belt enjoyer.
Yeah. He builds it first. And Chovy, you know, he got that 1 kill stolen by Duro, but he's still in a very strong spot.
I mean, that skirmish was huge for Gen.G overall. Protoplasm Harness picked up from Canyon, which is a great one-item spike, which makes you so bulky in the skirmishes. The fact that we have Sylas with the CS lead over Orianna, not how you want it to go. She was going to ult for the health and get the Fury up. Should be able to heal up the wave and clear it.
Yeah, Canyon says, my job here is done. I was just very impressed you knew the name of Giant Green Belt, which is the real name of that item.
Well, I clearly didn't know the name, but I didn't call it that.
Well, yes. You knew like the fake official name.
I feel like I'm pretty good with the names of full items, but what always stumps me is like the components. Like, okay, that is, I know Hearthbound Axe that Nidalee has.
Yeah.
It just vanished because Lucid finished his, oh my god, I'm blanking.
Sheen,
Sunday's Guy.
Right?
Yeah. Oh my god, how would I blank on that item? We've seen that like a million times. No, the item that builds into the Tunneler, I think it's called.
Tunneler, yeah.
Yeah.
That was not the Pantheon ult you want to see, by the way. I mean, you pick this Pantheon here, first rotation with Orianna. You want them to be making plays. But instead, Gen.G are just getting all the objectives. And yeah, maybe they kill Kiin this time. Maybe. I don't even know if they do. He has flash. He's going to get flashed on as there's the stun and the shockwave, and Kiin says, well, I'm just dead. I'm just going to not flash instead.
A nice pick to get, given the situation, but it ends up being a Cloud Soul. And with a Karma composition, that's pretty scary.
Uh-oh. ShowMaker, he's going to get killed by his own ult, essentially. Tries to flash away. Now the team comes in. But Chovy, relatively tanky, as there's the big charm into all of them. But Career kind of has to get out. As Chovy goes back in and tries to heal up with the Kingslayer. Lucid super low, but now it's only Canyon against 4 people. It's taking forever to kill him, but I think eventually they will as ShowMaker gets the shutdown on the Canyon.
They finally get the kill and do end up coming out ahead in the play, but it took so much effort, and I think it shows some of the concerns we're having for Dplus right now. It felt like they'd weathered the initial storm, but maybe they were just actually in the eye of the storm, and in reality, things have kind of gotten a bit rough for them. We're seeing the leads be fleshed out a bit more. The fact that Chovy has a lead in the mid lane, that was the lane that it wasn't a given that there'd be an advantage. Bottom top, it kind of was. Those matchups just go that way. But Chovy being able to do this to ShowMaker, even though he survives, just the fact he can kind of do this is concerning. And then the peel comes in, the recovery, but Canyon is also extremely tanky. And I know you have a Sivir, who eventually is going to be able to shred the Skarner, but right now, he does just feel like he kind of has an endless health bar. I mean, we saw the end of it, but it took a while.
Yeah. It didn't feel very good trying to kill that Skarner, but at least they did. And, you know, I feel like it's going to take a while for ShowMaker to be able to do real damage into that Skarner. You mentioned the Sivir, that's going to be obviously the big one, is now they're looking for ShowMaker, who doesn't have flash, and he is just so Omega Giga dead that Canyon's like, yeah.
Giga dead.
Yeah. Not even Omega dead, or just Giga dead, or just dead. I mean, he was Omega Giga dead. Like, there was no chance.
Omega Giga dead, wow. Yeah, that's...
0% chance.
I think that's accurate. I think that's pretty accurate. I've never seen or heard someone be a mega giga. Well, maybe I have seen someone be a mega giga.
You might have seen it before,
but I've never heard that term. But
yeah.
I think it fits. I think it's accurate for the situation.
Yeah, I don't think there's any other good way to describe it.
And Chovy's now stolen the Pantheon ult, so he just kind of gets a global. Oh,
it's a farming ult.
How many times? I love how it's like, oh, with Sylas, you get access to all of these cool ultimates, and people are like, how can I team fight with this? Chovy's like, how can I farm with this? I can shockwave a minion wave. I can use the Pantheon ult to go to side lanes. He's just innovating. Omega Giga dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way it was, especially when he walked towards the brush. That was control warded by Gen.G and had a very scary scorpion in it. I think that was the beginning.
Yeah.
So it felt good. You know, he got away from the Sylas the last time around, but he had to use his flash and get his teammates' help. But I do feel like it's going to be a while before this Orianna is really doing much.
Yeah, has the Seraphs completed for a bit of extra safety, but not a major threat right now. Gen.G going to start up the Herald. And mid tower is pretty low, so that'd be an easy pickup if they wanted it. Could even save it for a combo Herald. Dplus do look like they want to contest, though.
I don't really know how they're going to do this as the smite goes the way of Canyon and all the damage is going into Canyon. The Impale does pick up the Pantheon. Siwoo's got a nice angle and ShowMaker trying his best to corral them, but he can't really do much alone. Siwoo trying to frontline here. But Career, no ult, and now Siwoo's just alone, trying to dash his way out of this one as the chains will miss, but eventually the chase potential too good for the side of Gen.G when you have a Nidalee, a Sylas, and Ezreal, and speed ups from the Karma. As now they've got ShowMaker and Career. ShowMaker just TPs away, says, good luck, bro. And really it's just a matter of who gets the kill. They'll give it to Chovy. He needs more money. And he will pick it up.
I think if ShowMaker had stayed, he would have just died too, but that was messed up. I think we can all agree.
Should have died just to show
solidarity.
Yeah, he's one with the team.
So a little bit late to contest the Herald, and then they focus so much of their attention on the Canyon, and he just harnesses his protoplasm and just doesn't die. So maybe not the best target selection, I feel like, because so much was burnt onto the Skarner, and then Siwoo is like at a point in the game where you would expect the Renekton to be strong. He's just getting harassed down. Can't really make an impact. 4,000 gold lead now for Gen.G. And the game is looking to be in a pretty worrying position.
Yeah, I mean, the way that Dplus Kia are going to win fights is when all 5 members are together and they proactively, you know, look for a target. There's a ball on the Pantheon, you engage, and you at least get a bunch of damage on one target that's hopefully not Skarner. That time, ShowMaker was in the top lane. The Pantheon and the Renekton were kind of just running at them, and the Rakan ult was already down. So, like, it just felt very desperate. And you're giving up a lot against a team like Gen.G, who are just going to use this Rift Herald for major points here in the mid lane. Just going to pick up as much gold as possible.
It's also Skarner, so you can't punish him after he comes out of the Herald. They've gotten the 3rd dragon. Cloud Soul with his team would be crazy. Just the extra movement speed in general with a Karma comp is nuts, but also Sylas and Nidalee can proc it so frequently. Level 16 Sylas can proc it basically with a off cooldown.
Better Renekton is fighting here up against just regular, ordinary Renekton. Siwoo is not enjoying being very ordinary, but he's going to get some help from Career. And the chase potential eventually does go away there for Chovy.
Chovy's very scary right now. He is 210 CS, 211 CS. He's out farming a Sivir. He's Chovying pretty hard. And you know what? He didn't even use that ultimate to farm. That was for fighting.
Yeah. That's nice to see. You know, get that lead, use it to actually deal damage.
Okay, now we're at the point where Ruler has this pretty mega 2-item spike. A lot of 2-item spikes coming in. Canyon even got... So he's gone super cheap early items.
It's like that old tank jungle builds. Not these items, but, you know, we used to see like Redemption and all those weird, very cheap tanky items, support-ish items. that were probably meant for tank supports. You know, Locket, we used to see all the time on like Sejuani and Maokai and stuff. It's kind of just doing something like that.
Makes you so bulky. It's just the fact that you can see, you know, obviously like Ruler's pretty ahead. He has 2 more expensive items, and Canyon's sitting on 2.5. And obviously, you know, cheaper means less stats, but these are pretty strong defensive stats you'll have on offer.
Yeah, we got Bloodletter's Curse again, by the way, from Chovy. He just says he thinks it does more damage instead of going for the Riftmaker. As Canyon's in here, I'm very curious if he dies. I mean, he is very alone. He's going to land an Impale. There's a Sivir and a Rakan here. He flashes over the wall and still not dead, as now his team is here, and Canyon finally gets executed by the spear. But the damage potentially already done to ShowMaker, as in comes Chovy with the Rakan grand entrance, and is going to find multiple. Picks up Lucid here as well, and it is so worth for Canyon to just bait them into that fight.
I think it's just showing how tanky Canyon is on this pick, and they throw everything in the kitchen sink at him, and eventually they get him, but they just have nothing left in the tank, and all of Gen.G are able, well, apart from Kiin, who's side laning, but the rest of the team are able to move in to punish. They lose 2 members in return for it, a lot of summoners as well, and Dplus just kind of feeling desperate right now. 7,000 gold behind. Yeah. I mean, look how far away on the minimap. Look how far away the rest of Gen.G are right now. The only one who was even remotely close was Kiin, and Kiin doesn't even show up in the end. He's fighting.
Yeah.
So the rest of the team ends up coming in. They have to commit so heavily to get this, and then Chovy just flies in with the Rakan ult. He's initially like, I'll leave, ShowMaker for you, and he's like, never mind. I'll take that kill.
And Kiin did show up at the very end, mostly just to say hello and pick up an assist and then go back to bot lane.
Yeah.
That's really all he does. Chovy is back, and he's looking for ShowMaker, steals the Shockwave. Doesn't quite... Oh, there are the chains, though, and there's the Shockwave follow-up. Mid-chains as well. Excellently done from Chovy.
Oh,
has the Sonias as well. And maybe Lucid eventually takes him down, but now Kiin's here. He's got heals for Chovy, and now shields from Duro, as Siwoo just kind of left out in no man's land. No follow-up there. Smash comes to top lane. He's like, hey, guys, what's going on? Well, 2 of your teammates are already dead, and now the Baron should be going to Gen.G.
I mean, that was just pristine play from Chovy. The timing on the Shockwave buffered with the chain dash that he connected on a tower. And the thing is, that's not a combo you get to practice that often, because it's with a stolen ult.
Yeah.
It's like you have to have specifically played this matchup to be able to practice that combo. And then the stasis just as the stun comes in. I mean, this was just beautifully played by Chovy. Goes in for the play, not able to get the initial chain, waits for the second cooldown, and like he ults there to buffer. And then when the stun comes in, he doesn't even get stunned because he stasis when it's in midair. Just honestly perfect Sylas play.
Yeah, it's definitely a pick that Chovy in games past has gone back to many a time. And just showing off his mastery of the pick once again here.
Unfortunately, because he used that ult to kill ShowMaker and didn't use it to farm, he's actually not first in farm anymore.
Oh no.
So
behind both AD carries.
It's so difficult when there's
it's
a stiffer in the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the thing, if you just shockwaved a wave, if you just ran mid and shockwaved Ruler's wave, maybe he'd be first in farm still.
Yeah.
He has overtaken him again here.
He's so fast, by the way.
The Cloud Soul is
sprinting
crazy.
at them. Yeah, the Cloud Rift, they have 2 Cloud Dragons. And he's just sprinting at them. He picked up a full Zhonya's.
I mean, at level 16 as well, so the Cloud Soul effect, like, you know, the burst of movement speed you get when you ult?
Yeah.
Is on a 30-second cooldown. And at level 16, Sylas ult is also on a 30-second cooldown before ability haste.
Before ability haste, yeah.
So you just have access to that so frequently.
Yeah. Gonna be ulting a lot.
Also, I believe, you know when you steal the ult, you get it then.
Killing him under turret. I mean, Siwoo, again, ordinary Renekton, has nothing on better Renekton right now, especially in this game.
So I believe as well, when you steal the ult, you can activate it, as well as when you press the ult, like you activate the ult as well. So you have 2 ways of...
Well, that's just not fair.
No, it really isn't. But yeah, Chovy's zooming right now. And this game feels like it's a little bit done and dusted.
Yeah, feels more like game one, where, you know, nothing crazy happened. There was that really nice skirmish from Canyon in the top river, and that just got them enough of a lead to just very casually win this game. I mean, there hasn't really been an in for DK the rest of the game. And now you've lost 2 inhibitors against the Rebel Baron power play. And all that Gen.G have to do in terms of checking off the boxes is go bot and get the full victory, kill all of the buildings, all of the structures, and end the game.
So there he ulted bot with a Pantheon ult, picked up some farm, but he's dealing with a Sivir, and the problem is, Sivir with 2 inhibitors down, I think he's going to struggle to retake the CS lead in this game.
Yeah, I think right now he should actually go ahead into the jungle and just take all the camps. Especially because Canyon was taking some of DK's camps.
Yeah, he just went straight past those Raptors.
I just feel like his heart isn't in it anymore.
Seems a bit more focused on winning the game than on getting big farm numbers.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's just not the same player that we know and love. It is what it is, as they say. He'll just have to accept winning the game instead. And he's trying to do exactly that down in the bottom lane. Has on the hunt with Cloud Soul.
Oh my god, he's going to be so fast.
He's so fast.
I want to see this, actually.
Oh, they're trying to get on to Kiin, but he's Nidalee. So, yeah, not quite able to. And now it looks like Kiin is almost just trying to bait them as they pull ordinary Renekton into the team, does Canyon. And Chovy is behind you. And he is sprinting. Down will go Siwoo as Sun comes in, but they still have not dealt with the real problem, which is Chovy behind enemy lines, level 17. And they're all trying to turn onto Chovy and get this kill, but they can't even lock him down. He's too fast.
He's just too fast.
And now he's got Rakan ult. And he's going to be looking for it. The flash comes in. He doesn't quite have the knock-up. As Chovy, it looks like he's having a lot of fun right now. Does go golden, gets charmed up, doesn't care, is able to get back to the team. Shockwave is good, though. And that's a couple that do go the way of Dplus Kia, but they don't have a base anymore. And Ruler is still full health, full mana. Has not been the main character of any of this series, really, but he is going to finish off this game for the team alongside Kiin and Duro, as he does go in for that final kill on the ShowMaker, and he misses the Q. So instead, just going to do a bit more damage and take down the Nexus, as Gen.G will get the revenge in a 2-1 victory over Dplus Kia tonight.
A crushing Game 3, and interestingly, even though it was the side lanes who expected to have a pretty substantial lead in this game, it was Chovy who completely dominated in this Game 3.